to this afternoon, because this is a massive game for Belconnen United as well. They win, they're back in the 4. If they lose, then they're up against it heading into the final rounds of the season. They play the Rhinos at home next week, then Tigers away. So that potential battle with Tigers as well could be crucial.
Yeah, well, there's a potential final coming up before the final series again, which is great. I mean, and this is something that we've probably missed a little bit in the last couple of years in the local competition. I think we won the comp by 9 points from the Institute last year. This is really going down to the wire, and look, I mean, on the back of an A-League bid, this is an opportunity for Canberra's football supporters to actually get out and watch a local competition and not just talk about, we should have a pathway for our local players. Get out and actually watch our local players, and then we've got a better foundation to back them up and push for an A-League position.
Canberra FC were here on Wednesday in the FFA Cup, losing 4-1 to Broadmeadow Magic. They're coming out in the red shirts here at the moment. Frank, you've been in that position. How hard is it to pick yourself up from that disappointment and then go again in an important game like this?
I don't think many people, obviously not many people have been in that position, but not many people understand just what that means. You make it to the final 32, you're up on a big stage, you've got a crowd on a Wednesday night, you're under lights, you're in national television. Obviously, Canberra FC fell short on the Wednesday night, and then they've got a front up again on the Sunday. Not even a tenth of the crowd that they would have had on the Wednesday night. It's a cold, Sunday afternoon. You've got a team that's pushing for top 4, and you've got to get yourself back up. We went through the same sort of thing last year when we lost to Sorrento in Perth. We came back probably playing as well as we could have played. We lost 1-0. That weekend we were up 3-0 at half time, and I remember one of my senior players just looking at me going, this is actually hard. This is actually hard to keep on going and lift yourself.
Well, let's see how Canberra FC deal with that this afternoon. Their team: Sam Brown in goal, 4 at the back, Aidan Brunskill, Marco Verkic, Matt Gurdabisha and Ivan Pavlak. 4 in midfield: Thomas James and Jordan Lamb wide, Matt Waters and Ian Graham in the middle of the park. Up front, Michael Manser and Kofi Danning, missing the suspended Daniel Sabasic and Ryan Keir, and Michael Tarazi injured.
Yeah, it's a very good lineup. I think Paul's got a very settled Canberra FC lineup now. He's got Brunskill back, which is a bonus for them. Lamb's back from overseas, another big inclusion. So even with the loss of Subasic and Keir, they've got some good quality people coming back in.
Belconnen United with a 4-3-3. Finn Durack in goal, Zach Mabry, Phil Bourgeot, Isaac Clements and Cam Reinhardt across the back. Midfield: Adrian Maycock, Daniel Sparrow and Brad Waters. Up front, Sam Whittier, Dustin Wells and Daniel Balach.
Yeah, and Yuli's done a great job with Belconnen since he's taken over the reins. Him and Steve Forshaw looking a lot more balanced, a lot more formidable, and with the inclusion of Daniel Sparrow in midfield, a lot more combative. You'll see him putting himself about most of the game.
Barak up front, their leading goal scorer with 9. How important is he today?
Oh, look, Daniel's always played well against Canberra FC, even when he was playing for Canberra Olympic. I remember him scoring a couple of goals for us here against Canberra FC. So, yeah, he's a big target and he's a big player, and he loves a big occasion.
Georgia Girardello is a referee, assisted by Harrison Shield and Brad McGrath, and it is Canberra FC in the red. Second place on the ladder, attacking the goal to our right. Interestingly, they turned it around. They won the toss. They're going with the wind behind them in this first half, if you can say it's behind them. It's very blustery.
Yeah, so we'll see how much of an impact that makes, because Canberra FC are traditionally a team that plays the ball on the deck, so it might not make too big a difference.
Waters loses out to Sparrow, and a first chance out wide for Whittier to run at the Canberra FC defence. Sam Whittier looking to get a shot away. Sparrow does. Verkic gets a foot on it. Early pressure from the Blue Devils, and in the end Lamb is able to clear and find Kofi Danning up to halfway. Skips past Brad Waters and wins his side of throw. Early threat on the left hand side.
Yeah, good start from Belconnen. It was interesting. Matty Goodbrisser was down for a little bit after that first challenge there from Whittaker. So just see how he pulls up. He's very important to them. Obviously Matty and I thought Thomas James were outstanding on the Wednesday night. They really stood up for the club.
Ian Graham, who had a moment to forget on Wednesday.
I think he had 3 in the space of about 10 seconds. Poor bloke.
In the old days when we were playing, it wouldn't have been an issue, Frank. No, everyone would have forgotten about it. But with social media these days, it's all over the internet for ever and a day.
Yep.
He'll be determined to make up for that today.
Yeah, and he's a good player, and he's obviously the spiritual leader here at Deakin, and I actually sent him and Matty Goodbrisser a message before the game on Wednesday night, just wishing them all the best. Obviously, my best wishes didn't work for Ian, but Matty really stood up.
Jurek playing into the wind. Sends it forward. Helped on its way by Whittier, but Brunskill is there. Here is Gerbish at the back. Goes back to Brown. Was asking a lot of Pavlak, but he did well to bring it under control.
Yeah, very good player, Ivan.
Graham, nice touch. Canberra FC happy to keep the ball at the back, and no press in the final third at the moment for Belconnen. Gerbish's ball forward. James has peeled away from Reinhardt, who wins the header. Graham just sends it back into the space that was vacated, and it'll run out of play.
It's a very low-key start, isn't it? It's teams just sort of just having a look and sort of having a real look at each other at the moment. No one's really sort of pressing hard to win the ball high up on the pitch or anything like that. Just sort of sparring at each other a little bit at the moment.
Lamb comes in field. Sparrow wins it. Both sides like to play football. These conditions aren't exactly going to help them, is it?
No, but I mean, they're probably playing on the best surface here in Canberra. I mean, it's an outstanding pitch, and real credit to Canberra FC for presenting the field in the manner that they do each week. It's an outstanding facility, and they should be very proud of it.
Lamb goes back to Pavlak. And FC will begin again from the back. Bit of space for Jordan Lamb. But Brad Waters is going to get there, playing in a more central role. It's a good tackle. Well, it's not a good tackle, apparently.
I thought it was a good tackle. I think Maddie thinks it's a good tackle.
And I did as well, so that's three of us. But the person that matters, Georgia Girardello, didn't think it was. She gave the free kick, which Mako took very quickly. His Sparrow slotted into the Belconnen team quite nicely, Daniel Sparrow.
Yeah, he has. He's made a real difference too. Just that real ball winner in the middle of the park. He's a very good athlete. He runs all day, and he really makes his presence felt.
Mensah, very strong in the 9 position, but loses out to Mako.
Yeah, speaking of combative players,
doesn't mind a challenge, does Michael Mensah. Tucked a goal nicely away on Wednesday, didn't he? Which was disallowed for offside.
Yep.
Reinhardt swings out forward looking for Barak.
Not a bad ball.
Here's Waters in a more central role today. Usually plays a bit wider.
Yeah, very good player, Matt Waters. I think he's probably one of the more underrated players in the whole competition. Like, I don't think people, when he's surrounded by people like Graham and Thomas James, I think he probably doesn't stand out as much as he might. But we rate him very highly at Olympic, and he's always one of the players that we take note of pre-game whenever we're playing Canberra FC.
Played well for Woden Western as well, didn't he, for a couple of years before he came here, where he first really stood out in the NPL?
Yeah, so I think originally was playing for Richmond in the NPL 2 competition in Victoria. We had a bit of a chat to him when he first came over, but there was a bit more of a guarantee of a spot there at Woden, and he took up that offer, pretty much immediately. And I mean, you don't blame anyone for that. New to the city, just come in and be guaranteed of a first grade spot. So, and the rest is history. He's a very good player with a very good left foot.
Here's another one with a good left foot. Pavlak helped on by Mensah, looking for Danning, but it's going to go harmlessly through to Finn Jurak, who finds Clements, who formerly of this part of the world.
Yep, former Canberra FC, probably premiership winner, I'd imagine, Isaac Clements.
Whittier finds Sparrow. Ball forward to Wells. Hasn't been involved too much yet, Dustin Wells. I'm sure that'll change before the end of the afternoon.
Yeah.
Michael's touch. Barak strays through. Chance here perhaps to get it into the penalty area. Swings it in
Big
towards
chance.
Wells. Falls for Whittier on the far post. Bounces off the defender. Brunskill got in the way. Whittier again. Tries to chip it up. And it's cleared by Waters. Half a chance there from Sam Whittier.
Big chance there for Belconnen, and they exposed there's a few gaps there in the Canberra FC defence, and good ball across from Waters. Then fell to Whittier, whose shot was blocked.
Experienced piece of defending by Brunskill to get in the way. Belconnen showing the early signs. Here's Sparrow. Back to Bourgeot. Maycourt just helps it around the corner, but it's going to come straight back again. This is Danning. And Gerbischer at the back for FC, former Belconnen player, of course.
Yeah.
Mabry's touched a bit loose. Mensah's in there, beaten to it.
Ooh.
And then leaves a foot in on Daniel Sparrow, gives a free kick.
That'll be an interesting contest, that, and see if that kicks anything off there. As we said, you know, I mentioned earlier, Sparrow's come in and been real combative and trying to win everything that he can in that Belconnen midfield, and Mensah won't tolerate anything other than what he's just done there. So it'll be very interesting to see how that plays out over the course of the 90 minutes.
This is Brunskill, finds Waters, gets it back. Very experienced player in Brunskill, looking to bring this one forward. Waters with him. Pavlak outside. Now Danning dropping deep to collect. Finds Graham. Lamb's made the run. It's a good run too. Jordan Lamb got in behind here.
Danning. Shooting
opportunity perhaps. Declined to do so. Finds Thomas James. Not a bad option. Here's James. Lovely ball into the area. Danning was there. It's looped in the air. Jurak's got to come and claim, and it does so superbly well, the goalkeeper. But the first chance we've seen for Canberra FC this afternoon.
Absolutely, and it was great little vision there to see Jordan Lamb make the run. Lammy could have actually played Kofi early, but he's picked out Thomas James, who's put a good ball into the middle. Kofi's got an amazing vertical leap. For someone his height, he really gets up, so that's always going to be a dangerous ball into the middle of into the box there. So Finn's done really well to reclaim that possession and start again for Belconnen.
I don't know what they feed Thomas James, but he's made a remarkable recovery. He played 3 minutes down in against Tigers in Nijong 2 weeks ago. Came off with an Achilles injury, and we thought he was going to be in real doubt for Wednesday. I understand he's had physio every day of the week this week and last week to try and get him ready for that match as well. So it's interesting to see how long he's going to last this afternoon and whether or not he's running at full pace.
Yeah, well, I suppose Paul's made his decision around that, and whether TJ's 100% or not. Do you bank on TJ being 75%? Is a 75% fit TJ better than any options he's got on the bench? And maybe he is. So, he's one of the top 3 or 4 players in the whole competition. So, if TJ would have said he's okay, then he's okay.
Here's Reinhardt on the break for Belconnen. Swings it in. It's a Devon Vicious one. And it's been misjudged by Sam Brown. And it's gone in the far post. Cam Reinhardt, the fullback, his first league goal of the season. And that's a bolt from the blue for the Blue Devils. They lead here at Deakin Stadium.
Well, where did that come from? Is it a poor cross? Is it a shot? I'm sure it's, and I suppose, Russ, just going back to what we said around TJ, that's his fullback that's got forward and got that ball into the back of the net. So that's your telltale whether or not a fit TJ would have gone back and defended that or not. So, but 1-0 Belconnen and cat amongst the pigeons.
Massive goal in the scheme of things for both the Blue Devils and Canberra FC and Canberra Olympic, of course. Will that kickstart FC into gear? Here's Ian Graham looking for James outside him, but that's picked off by Clements. Whittier's going to pick up the loose ball. Here's the goal scorer, the most unlikely first goal scorer of the game, Cam Reinhardt. I'm not sure he knew an awful lot about it when he sent it in. It's a good header from Gerbischer, and Verkic had to tidy up. But I think whether the wind had played a part in that, but Brown completely misjudged the cross. Yeah,
and it's interesting because, obviously Canberra FC are playing with the wind. So you would have thought it would have taken it away from goal, if anything. So it's just one of those ones. I guess Sammy's probably looking and wondering how that got over him or through him or what. But
he looked surprised, didn't he, when it dropped into the far post?
I think I looked just as surprised, mate.
Here's James at the other end looking to get away. It might fall for Kofi Danning. Thomas James for Canberra FC into the penalty area. Did his man, but then overdid it, and it'll be a goal kick. You can usually tell by the body language with Thomas James, and for me at the moment he just looks a little bit subdued. Yeah, well,
he was hugely influential on Wednesday night, and from the very kickoff. Again, this is where it becomes difficult for any team that plays in that final round of 32 to get yourselves back up and playing again. And it's a massive high that you're coming down from. So very interesting to see how Canberra FC respond from that. But the quality of this side and the history of this side will tell you that the chances are they probably will.
Trouble again there for a moment. Verkic misjudged it, and Wells almost got in on the end of it. It's James with Reinhardt. The goal scorer gets the ball back from Clements, and there's a bit of space in which to work from fullback. Goes with a 1-2. Nicely done by Whittier to find Reinhardt. Chips it into the area, and defensively, Canberra FC looking a bit shy down this left-hand side.
Yeah, well, it looks like Aidan Brunstall's sort of getting targeted 2v1 here with Sam and Reinhardt getting forward. So, yeah, interesting to see how Paul Maycor combats that. Set up from the corner is going to be interesting here from Belconnen as well. They've actually got 1v1 at the back, and with Kofi, they're getting a couple of trips back now. So,
well, Wells is behind the set piece, goes short, looks to change the angle, but the return pass wasn't good enough.
No.
And Graham gets there, and now here's James. He's got Jordan Lamb in loads of space to his left if he can find him. Here's Jordan Lamb breaking from the back. This is one end of the field to the other. Lamb into the area, but that is a superb piece of defending back there by Zach Mabry to deny Jordan Lamb.
Yeah, I think Adrian Maycor's just breathed a sigh of relief there. He's had his little pass there to Dustin Wells cut short, and just a quick break of Canberra FC is just synonymous with their season so far. You know, if you miss your pass, they can hurt you pretty quickly on the rebound.
It's Belconnen's turn to attack now with Wells.
Yep.
Stab pass from Waters finds Whittier. Wells has made the run forward, an intelligent 1-2 towards Barak in the middle, but there was Brown.
He needed one of those Reinhardt crosses there.
Well, if they did it all the time, it would be pretty special if he could do it every single time, wouldn't it?
I think, yeah, if you got a couple of those in a row, I think you'll be claiming that at training for sure. You'll be saying that's a set play that we're using.
Well, before today, he'd only scored one goal this season, Cam Reinhardt, in the 8-5 FFA Cup quarter-final win against O'Connor Knights. That's his first league goal of the season. Big time to get it. Here's James battling in the middle of the park. Here is Reinhardt. Seems to have been around forever, Cam Reinhardt.
Yeah, he has.
Here's Whittier wide, cutting into that right foot, drives one low and hard, and that had Brown scrambling across his goal as well.
Yeah, that was a very good move there from Belconnen, and Sam Whittier there just pulling into his right foot, unleashing a shot low and hard, just fizzed across the face of the goal.
Yuli De Silva will be very happy with what he's seeing out here at the moment. I think the first 15 minutes, the Blue Devils looking lively, have the lead, and had half a chance there to double it.
Look, I don't think he would have asked for, he could have asked for anything more than what they've done. Even the defence there, when Canberra FC broke, the fact that Mabry got back as quickly as he did, stood up, didn't dive in. That's a real, and they're winning these balls high up on the pitch now.
Pavlak gives that one away. Brad Waters wins it in the middle of the park. Maycor, Bourgeot, Sparrow. Plenty of room for Sparrow. Looks to slide it through, but not quite on the same wavelength as Daniel Barak, who I mentioned, 7 league goals, 2 in the cup for him this season, puts him as the top goal scorer in the Belconnen team.
Yeah, that's a good return for Daniel as well. I think based on the last previous seasons, I think he's done pretty well. And a lot of the time he would have been doing that in isolation. Like he hasn't really got like a partner up there. Dusty obviously does get forward, but he would have been sort of leading the line on his own a lot of that time.
Puts in a good shift, does Barak, usually.
Yeah, really honest player as far as, he'll work for 90 minutes, and he won't give up, and he won't die wondering, Daniel.
It's easy for you to say.
Yeah. I think my tongue's frozen, mate.
It's a bit windy here, isn't it?
Oh.
Here's Pavlak, enjoying the game though, live on Bar TV Sports. Just over 15 minutes gone, 1-0 to Belconnen United against Canberra FC here. Here's Danning looking to redress the balance. Brunskill's made the run on the overlap, and the flag stays down against Aidan Brunskill. Good ball into the penalty area, but Reinhardt's there to clear. James looking to pick up the pieces. Goes back to Verkic. Now Waters. What can he conjure with that left foot? Goes short instead to Pavlak. Prods it through to Danning. Better build up this from FC.
You've got TJ lurking here on the right.
Verkic is looking to come to this way, and he finds Thomas James looking to run at the Belconnen defence, sliding a ball through. Graham's in on the back of it, and Finn Durack with a brave piece of goalkeeping in front of the Canberra FC midfielder. Yeah,
very brave there from Finn. I think people forget how young Finn is. He's only still a teenager. I think he'll be one of the guys that, when Dina Greenwich starts looking at candidates for that NYL side this year, he'll be one of the first names on the list.
Resplendent in his Belconnen United issued beanie at the back there. Not sure it's team gear, is it? Sensible though.
Well,
we're just jealous.
We've got our legend of a goalkeeper who wears his cap and
and his tracky dacks.
His tracky dacks and cap, and things are getting serious when the cap comes off.
He's jet setting around the world at the moment, isn't he, Angelo Constantini?
Yeah, private jet. He'll take him. I think he's in Greece at the moment, and
single-handedly propping up their economy.
Yeah, well, I think most recently he's bought half the island. So, he's doing all right, Ange.
Here's Waters back for the final game of the season, I understand.
Yes, he
small
will.
Matter of the game against Canberra FC.
Yeah, the private jet will have him back in time.
We're going to get a helicopter landed behind us here. There's plenty of room in the park.
Oh, he owns it, yeah. So, I mean, that's his. That's
on the roof of the building opposite.
That's one of the mansions.
Verkic ball forwards, looking for Danning. Not going to keep that in. Hope he's watching.
Yeah, if he is.
Your phone will buzz soon if he is.
How you going, Ange? If you're watching, it's probably, I don't know what time it would be over in Greece at the moment, but...
Who knows? He'd be out. So the goal here, Cam Reinhardt, 9 minutes in, is what separates the team at the moment. That puts Belconnen back in a 4th place on the ladder. And not only that, it puts them level on points with Tuggeranong United as well.
Yeah, it's that tight. It really is, crazy tight this year. And that's great. I think for any local supporter, regardless of what club you're following, I think that's all you can ask for is the competition where every team's a chance of winning. And I was just listening to your coverage last night, and I was listening to Michael, the Tuggeranong women's coach, talking about the men's competition and how close it is. And that's obviously a really good thing for the game here in Canberra. If you've got teams like Belconnen and Tuggeranong and Tigers who have got juniors in Brindabella, so you've got regional teams or areas in Canberra that have got big followings of junior players, and their teams are right in and up to their ears for finals. So that's really good.
2 rounds of the season to go, of course, and that one extra game for you guys as Whittier plays that ball forward. And how good is this though, Frank? We're looking at this next week. I've got 5 games scheduled for next week, including the midweek ones. Friday night, Canberra Olympic versus Tigers FC. Saturday, Woden Western versus Canberra FC, Belconnen versus Riverina Rhinos. Sunday, Tuggeranong versus Monero Panthers. Next Wednesday, Tigers v Gungahlin United. Every single match has something on it going into the final round of the season.
Yeah, and that's... Yeah, and this is when Capital Football can really get behind our local competition and start promoting it and really starting to hopefully drive some crowds to get to our games and actually having a look at some of the talent that's out and available here. We are talking about a future A-League side one day, and even our NYL side. A lot of those sides are going to be made up by some of these locals that we've got running around in our Premier League.
Looking forward to covering that, and finals, of course, live on Bar TV towards the end of the season. Here's a chance for Belconnen on the break, Barak into the middle. Waters was there. It's ricocheting around, and it's poked away by Waters towards James. He's going to keep this in, and he's got plenty of space and a lovely raking ball across field looking for Mensah. Brings it down. Goes past his man, Michael Mensah, into the area, but in the end the square ball not quite good enough. But the break was on again for Canberra FC. I
was interested to see why Thomas Jones actually didn't take that on himself. He could have drawn a couple of players over there and then played it, but obviously he saw Michael pull away and saw the opportunity for him to be isolated 1v1. Be interested to see what happened in the box there, because there was a player down on the ground and the ball's hit him. Must have been close to hitting someone's hand, but good game now. It's opening up, and obviously Canberra FC are responding like the champions, the champion side that they are. So let's see how it goes.
Pavlak will take the throw on the far side. One other game this afternoon: Monero Panthers versus Woden Western FC over at Googong. Be blustery over there. It's blustery here.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Nice and open field, that one. Here's the Blue Devils down the right hand side. And Pavlak goes back to Finn Durack. Testament to what we're still talking about the season as a whole. A few weeks ago, Tuggeranong versus Monero would have been almost seen as a dead cert Tuggeranong win and another step towards finals for Mitch Stevens' team. But the resurgence from Belconnen and Tigers has put a huge amount on that game for Tuggeranong as well.
Absolutely, and and this is a real time for. Oh, here we go.
Well, James, we'll come back to that point in a moment as James skips past Reinhardt, fires it across goal. Danning on the far post, can't get the touch, but there must have been a deflection off of Reinhardt or the covering defence because it's a corner.
Yeah, a number of players Belconnen players committed forward there, but not getting back quickly enough to help out their defence. And if you get Thomas James 1v1 and Kofi Danning running in far post, there's real danger signs there for Belconnen unless they address that pretty quickly.
Well, set piece opportunity for Canberra FC. Thomas James going across to take the corner. This wind is going to whip it right into the 6-yard box if he gets this right. Finn Durack is going to have to be on his toes. Plenty of height on the back post. Matt Gerbish is there with Michael Mensah. Danning's trotting to the near post. Marco Verkic and Jordan Lamb hovering around the edge of the 6-yard box.
And the wind's picked up just in time for the corner as well, I think.
Well, James is going to need to start this towards Sam Brown in his goal, I think, to get this one back to where it needs to go. Let's see what he can do. It does swing it in. It's got a deep one, and that's a good piece of defending on the back post to flick it clear by Isaac Clements. Yeah,
with Matty Gerbish sort of lurking back post there. And Matty's a clever player as well. Like if he doesn't think he can put that in himself, he'll cut that across the face of the goal, and that's very hard to defend.
Another corner. Sam Brown comes to halfway to collect the ball. Ivan Pavlak from this side.
So another in-swinging corner, this time with the left foot. Still
swirling that wind left to right. Pavlak swings it towards the far post, where Gerbisher picks it up, slides it goalwards. It's bouncing around the area, and it's Mabry who clears it.
Just holding on now at the moment, Belconnen.
A second dangerous ball in the penalty area in succession. Now it's going to be the long throw. Verkic has gone huge into the penalty. It's flicked on towards the far post. Lamb's there, and it's blocked by Reinhardt. It's going to come back for Pavlak, who drives it, and Durack is there.
Reinhardt's down.
Well, he threw his body in the way of that shot from Lamb, and Jordan Lamb caught a fair piece of that, didn't he?
Absolutely. He's really put his body on the line there, Reinhardt, and Jordan Lamb's really hit that well.
That would have stung, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
To feel sorry for Cam Reinhardt. And the follow-up shot from Pavlak couldn't get enough purchase on it to really trouble Finn Durack.
But even the follow-up shot, low and hard, it's on target. All it takes is a slight deflection, and Finn's in trouble. Look, I think Deacon are looking very ominous in the last 5 minutes, especially. Yeah, but actually going back to your point, Russ, about Tuggeranong and that Monero game, it's a very big game there for Tuggeranong, because Mitch has done a great job, and the boys obviously at Tuggeranong have done a brilliant job to get themselves in a position now that they've been in the top 4 pretty much all season long. And now they can start that now. Instead of probably looking forward, they're probably looking over their shoulder a little bit, and teams like Tigers and Belconnen obviously are closing the gap very quickly. Because even when Belconnen beat Tuggeranong a couple of weeks ago, you probably would have thought, okay, well that doesn't mean all that much. It probably meant more to Belconnen than Tuggeranong, but all of a sudden it's actually meaning a lot to both, all 3 teams now.
And for Mitch Stevens' boys, if they don't get a result against Monero next week, their final game of the season is here against Canberra FC. So that's a tough one as well, isn't it? So you wouldn't want to be coming into that game thinking, well, we need to get full 3 points away at a Canberra FC side that could well be pushing for the title themselves.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's interesting. It's funny because Monero against Canberra Olympic has been one side that's always sort of troubled Olympic. Tuggeranong against Canberra FC over the last 2 or 3 years has been another sort of matchup that's really sort of surprised a few people. And even their draw earlier this year, like Tuggeranong, were well worth their points.
Mensah flicks it on, looking for Danning. It's held up for Kofi Danning. The bounce is there, and Durack comes to collect. As we said there, Frank, it's been refreshing that every single fixture I've mentioned has got something on it for somebody, and it's just refreshing to talk about in terms of NPL and capital football.
Yeah, maybe for you.
From a neutral perspective.
I would love to be...
You want to be 20 points clear.
Still, look, but no, it's absolutely right, and that's all we can ask for, and that's... Well, there we go.
Here's the first card of the afternoon.
And it's significant because now Sparrow, his whole game is going to be not so much compromised, but it's going to be changed up to what he normally does. His approach to this next 70 odd minutes.
Yeah, just went through the back there of Matty Waters.
Yeah.
Simple decision for George Girardello in the middle. You're watching live football on Bar TV Sports. Canberra FC versus Belconnen United in the Men's Premier League. Canberra FC heading into the match in second place. Belconnen were 5th, and it's the Blue Devils who lead thanks to a goal from Cam Reinhardt. Ball forward. Mensah flicks it on. It might come for Danning. It doesn't because it's a good piece of defending from Clements, but Danning is there. Here's Brunskill. Waters finds Pavlak. FC looking for a response out wide here towards Lamb. Battles with Reinhardt, but loses out.
Interesting that Jordan Lamb and Thomas James are swap wings, and Michael Mensa's proving quite an imposing target up front now. I think Canberra FC have identified that as one of their main avenues through to goal. So I think they're using him quite a fair bit now.
If they can get someone in and around him, they could get some change. As it is, it's Dustin Wells for Belconnen. Very experienced player, and you can see that from what he's done in midfield there. And losing out is Waters, and it's a chance for Lamb to bring it forward. Skips past Reinhardt. Barak's backtracking. Lamb's ball in towards Kofi Danning. First touch was important, and the touch came off. I think Phil Bourgeois came across and concedes a corner.
Yeah, very important touch there from Phil Bourgeois. Kofi was inches away from putting himself one-on-one, and probably disappointing there from Belconnen, because Dusty's done really well. He's got the ball in the middle of the park. He's been composed. He's played it into midfield, and then the next pass has fallen short, and Canberra FC are broken.
Waters with this set piece, the third different FC player to try their luck from a corner. Very deep one, too deep in fact. Wells got a piece of it, goes to James, swings a dangerous one in. Barak back defending, and that should be a corner from the other side. Clearly came off Daniel Barak, didn't it?
I think so, yeah. I don't know what they're arguing about.
I think for a moment George Girardello lost her bearings. It is a corner though.
Yep. Another in-swinging corner now from Thomas James.
And pressure building from Canberra FC. James, their leading scorer, out there to take the corner. Swings it in. It's a dangerous looking one. It's dipping as well. It's bouncing around the area. And again, Belconnen clear. Jurak's down in a heap. A whistle goes.
Yeah, he, very physical challenge there from Vrikic into Jurak. No malice, obviously, but yeah, I mean, goalkeepers nowadays.
But those corners are so dangerous, aren't
Absolutely.
they, with this wind behind them?
And Belconnen would be, just need to get some, 5 or 6 passes together now, just get some composure, and actually just start building their way back into the game again, because Canberra FC are well on top in the last sort of 10 minutes or so.
So Jurak will take the free kick. Got cleaned out as he came to try and collect that ball. Sends it into the wind. It will hold up, as you can see. Waters wins the header. Clements chips one over the top for Barak to chase. It's bouncing back. Brown's missed it. Real chance for Barak. There's no one at home. And that's a good defending by Verkic. Down he goes. Is that a free kick? No, says Georgia Girardello. Verkic gets away with one, you think. Brown completely misjudged that one again. The ball just held up, didn't it?
Absolutely, and that's the danger of playing actually with the wind. Anything that goes over the top of the defence comes back to the strikers, and that was Daniel could have probably hit that first time and rolled it into an empty net.
Might not have made it.
It might not have made it, but I'll tell you what, there's big question marks over the challenge after that.
Here's James for Canberra FC. Nicely done. Finds Mensa. That's a good touch. And that's just overhit as Lamb was outside him. It's a shame for FC because Lamb was in acres of space, but Belconnen weathered a little bit of a storm there, and they looked dangerous on that break.
Yeah, and look, I mean, it probably wasn't a great build-up. It was more a mistake than anything else. But they've really dodged a bullet there, Canberra FC.
Just out of your shot there, Daniel Barak is asking the question of the referee as to why there wasn't a foul.
Well, the implications, if that was given a foul, the implications of that were enormous,
Yeah, it may have been a penalty. It may well have been a red card as well.
Yeah. And as you said, the season's so tight. That's not just a game changer. That could be a season changer for some teams,
Wasn't given though, so we move on. Again, Jurak sends it into the wind. It just holds up this really windy day here in Canberra. Lamb tries to get in behind. Waters clears it. That's Brad Waters. Here's Barak. Nicely done. Finds Reinhardt, who's got a bit of space. A man whose goal separates the size. Wells has made the run ahead of him. Went a bit too early for Reinhardt's liking, so he held it up. Wells finds Barak. Now Reinhardt. Wells once more. Thought about the shot. Instead clips it wide to Whittier. Sam Whittier looking to drive at the defence. Mabry's made the overlap, but the ball's going to roll out of play.
Yeah, and the Belconnen wingers are swap sides as well. So Barrett just come out here on the left. Whitaker's on to the right. Whether or not they're following their wingers. So if that's just a response to Canberra FC's guys swapping sides.
Here's Verkic, who was the lucky man a moment ago. Plays it forward towards Danning. Well defended at the back by Bourgeot. Here's a chance for Barak again to put his head down and run at Brunskill, and he's past him as well. Only Whittier to hit in the box at the moment. Pulls it back and calmly done by Matty Gerbischer to bring it away. His Lamb on the counter. James, who's peeled away onto that left-hand side. Looks to give it back to Lamb. He's got Reinhardt ahead of him. He'll have the pace on Reinhardt. If he can get past him, he can, and then is tripped by Barak, and the free kick in a dangerous position with this win behind him for someone to maybe a left footer to swing this one in towards goal.
Yeah, I'd still bank on Thomas James taking this left foot or right foot.
He'd fancy it anyway, wouldn't he? Left or right foot.
Yeah, and this is one of those ones where you can sort of swing around a wall and try to hit that top corner, especially with the wind being what it is.
Well, we saw what it did to Sam Brown at the other end with the only goal of the game from Cam Reinhardt. Thomas James, as we move into the final 10 minutes or so of the first half. You can see the ball just moving forward an inch or two. Will he go for goal, or will he try and lift it towards the far post? Be like the old rugby union when you need someone to tee it up for him.
Someone put a finger on the ball.
Here he goes. James goes for goal, and it's a good one too. And it had Durack scrambling across his goal. If it was on target, it would have been interesting.
You know what? He probably hit that so well that the wind actually didn't affect it. If he actually probably hit it a little bit, if he didn't get onto it as much as he did, that might have actually brought it into real calculations there. But yeah, anything in and around the box, dead ball, Thomas James has got his name on it.
Well, 19 goals in all comps this season, 14 in the league, 5 in the FFA Cup, including that one on Wednesday. Good return from him. In a race for the Golden Boot now in the league though, 14 apiece, him and Vijafanya from Kuma.
Yeah, what a season he's had.
It's been one successful import.
Yeah, predominantly playing midfield and getting 14 goals. I think Gabby would be delighted with that.
They pushed him further forward the last couple of weeks to, I think, take advantage of the fact that he's scoring so many goals and the fact that Tigers have got so many attacking players. Here's James looking to prove what he can. Down he goes under the challenge of Sparrow, who needs to be careful. And this one is definitely within range for James and definitely on his right side as well, so Durack will need to be on his toes.
Yeah, and again, I mean, Belconnen now, if they can survive this free kick, then they'd really need to, once again, get themselves composed, get their foot back on the ball and get themselves back in the game, because they're just, Canberra FC are just knocking on the door constantly now.
Thomas James, if he could spot one from where he would like to take a free kick, this wouldn't be too far away from where he would be placing it. He's got the quality. Has he got the range and the distance for this one? It's James. He goes short instead. He's fooled everyone. It's Waters with a chance. And in the end, it's going to go out for a corner. But surprised everybody that he didn't have a pop there. But he got Waters in, and his first touch was just a bit heavy.
Yeah, well, obviously it's caught not just us off guard. It's caught Belconnen off guard. Maybe even caught Matty Waters off guard.
Pavlak swings it in. Mensah was there and won the header, but it's harmless enough.
This is a real opportunity now for Belconnen to slow things down. They've got 9 minutes to go before half-time. They've got a 1-0 lead. They've probably dodged a couple of bullets, just a couple of set pieces in the last 5 minutes. They really need to get some passes together. They may even try to just play out a little bit, because every time Finn's hitting the long ball out of these goal kicks, it's just coming straight back. It's not even making the halfway mark. So yeah, they probably need to just look at this a little bit, because again, they're lining up for another long ball, and whether or not they can get it down and play.
Well, here it goes again. Durack into the wind. It's a bit flatter and it reaches halfway, but it's straight out. James with the throw. Pavlak, that's heavy from Pavlak, but he wins it and still goes forward, but gives it away again. And here's Whittier. Chance for Belconnen United. Plenty of blue shirts in this attack. 4 against 3 for the moment. Gerbischer got the foot in. Needed to. It's going to find its way wide to Wells, though. Breaks the first tackle, but can't get past Matt Waters, and Gerbischer, relieved, gets rid of it. And as far as Sparrow, Chance for Belconnen perhaps to get this into the penalty area. Here's Wells.
Play it.
Nice ball in, gets a 1-2. Dustin Wells, and he's just curled that one wide. Adrian Maycall played the return pass, and Wells was in. And he's disappointed he's not hit the target.
Well, I don't know what you thought, Russ, but as soon as Dusty hit it, I thought this is going back of the net. He's just got so much quality about him, Dusty. He's, even every time he gets the ball, Belconnen are looking dangerous. He just seems to be really composed and playing as well as he can at the moment.
On his left foot, just to the right of the penalty spot, you expected the net to bulge there from Dustin Wells. He's done it so many times over the years. His Mensah flicking it on to Waters. He's got him behind here, Matthew Waters. Can he get the finishing touch? No, because defensively Isaac Clements got there first and Cam Reinhardt completed the clearance.
Well, based on this, I think we're in for more goals.
Well, it's entertaining. Canberra FC looking to finish the half on a high, trying to get back on level terms, trying to get a goal that will mean so much to them in terms of their push for top spot. Reinhardt finds Barak and he can bring it away. Sends it out towards the stands, just where we are. There's a sense of urgency about Canberra FC heading on to half-time. 7 minutes to go.
Well, it's also interesting if you think that they were going to be playing into the win second half, and this will be their third game this week. So it is important these next few minutes before half-time.
Verkic clips it into the penalty area. Mensah's there, gets the first touch. Michael Mensah, third shot as well, and it's gone to the post, I think. Not sure whether Jurek got a fingertip to it. I think he may have. Did he get nothing on it? It's come off someone because it's a corner.
I think he got a deflection because there's a bit of
there's a bit of argy in the penalty area. Mensah's shoving someone as well. There's arms up, and he's not happy, is he? If he's raised his arms here, there's going to be some sanction needed from the referee. Not entirely sure exactly what went on off the ball there.
It's still going on.
Marko Verkic getting involved as well. Well, this could be important as well. Got the shot away, Mensah, and someone's gone down in the penalty area, clutching their face. I think it was Matty Gubich. I think he's running it. Bit of comedy capers there, and I think nothing's come of it. We're going to get a corner. I'm not sure what Matt Gubich was doing there, though, but...
Looks like some of those boys going home on a Saturday night or a Sunday morning.
He's certainly not winning any sort of awards for his acting style.
No.
Anyway, it's all been brushed under the carpet rather conveniently, and Thomas James will take the corner. Swings it in towards the far post. Gubich is there, wins it. Lamb with a volley. Cleared away, and it's off Reinhardt again. It's another corner. Pressure mounting as we enter the final 5 minutes of the first half, and Matty Gubich is showing just how good he is in the air. Much better in the air than he is as an actor.
One of the best, Matty. Been one of the best for a long time here in Canberra.
Certainly lightened the proceedings, didn't it, when it threatened to ball out of control briefly. Here's James again, swings it in.
It's a good head.
One in the air by Waters. Out back towards Thomas James, looking to shield it for another corner. He won't be able to, though, because there's blue shirts right around him, and he goes down under the challenge.
Fair bit going on off the ball here, Russ. Just in back play.
It's bubbling up quite nicely, isn't it? Here's Pavlak in towards Graham, whose touch was a bit heavy. Belconnen looking to hit on the break. Which has got the pace to get there. If he can keep it in, he can't. It's all boiling up quite nicely for the second half as well.
Half sort of keeping an eye on what's happening after a pass has been played at the minute.
Pavlak looking to bring it forwards. Chance for...
They got a...
Gubich to swing it into the penalty. Yeah, Mensah's there. Reinhardt beats him to it.
Very good match up there.
He's Danning, turning and shooting.
Yeah, they had a really good match up there, Deacon. Canberra FC with Matty Mensah with Cam Reinhardt marking him in the middle of the box. They'd fancied their chances to win ahead of there most times, but Reinhardt's done really well.
3 minutes or so, 4 minutes to half time, and Jurek with another goal kick. He'll want to get this as far away from his goal as he can, even into the prevailing winds.
If he can find Daniel Barrach instead of playing central, he'd be better off.
Well, that's what he's looked for. Here is Barrach.
Yeah.
Verkic beats him in the air, though. Reinhardt slams it down the field looking for Wells. Holds up nicely for Dustin Wells. There's a battle between two experienced campaigners, and Wells brings down Gubich.
Two former teammates there.
Well, Brunskill went short. Pavlak finds Verkic. Back to Brunskill. Good press this by Belconnen, and Reinhardt just shovels it out of play. Brunskill to take the throw. Verkic finds Brown. This is where Belconnen are happy for Canberra FC to have the ball. That's a good ball forward. Mensah looking for the flick on his Danning. Bourgeot ahead of him. Danning looks to take on the central defender who gets the toe in. Can Canberra FC find something before the interval to get back on level terms? They trail 1-0. Cam Reinhardt's goal in only the 9th minute. That one's up towards us in the commentary position. We're a bit raised than we normally are today, aren't we?
We're lucky they weren't in our next level up there, Russ, because I think that ball hitting that scaffold would have had us.
Would have been off down on the field, I think, next to Marko Verkic, who's trying to find a football to take a throw in with. In fact, we've gone 20 metres up the line to Brunskill.
Another very experienced player, Aidan Brunskill. One of those guys that, real Canberra FC stalwart.
It's a good ball that from Brown, wasn't it? To find James.
Yep.
Took it under his spell and twists and turns, takes on Whittier, looks to try and create a crossing opportunity. It's not been at his fluent best yet, Thomas James.
But it's still a constant danger. It's just so hard to defend against and so hard to prepare against.
Waters swings it in, Reinhardt clears it. Buttocks brings it down, goes under the challenger Brunskill. Free kick, Belconnen United.
And Belconnen might want to slow this down a little bit. 2 minutes to go, get some players forward, try to keep possession.
In no rush to take this free kick, will they?
You wouldn't have thought so.
Durack will take it. Brave man. Into this wind from there. Just clips it forward. Wells will challenge. Gerbischer wins it. Here's Graham. Just to chip it back over the top for Mensah. He's got goal side here of Clements. He needs to be careful, and there's a offside flag, against Michael Mensah. Fortunate for Isaac Clements because he was beaten to the ball. Yeah,
he positioned himself really well, Michael Mensah there, and just eased Clements off the ball. If he wasn't offside, that was another dangerous situation there for Belconnen.
The 60 seconds to half-time. Belconnen United lead. That goal from Reinhardt. Verkic sends it forward. Here he is. Ball in towards Makor. And there's Barac trying to chase behind. Brunskill's there. Can he hold it up? He slips, though. And here's a chance for the centre forwards. Helped out by Verkic. He's going to fall for Wells in the area. Tries to lay it off of Makor. And that's a good piece of defending from Pavlak to chase that one back. Needed to be. Yeah, very, a lot of hustle there from Daniel Barac on Aidan Brunskill, and then very clever ball from Dustin Wells trying to find Adrian Makor running into a real goal scoring opportunity there. Blue Devils finishing the half on the front foot. Ball down the line. Verkic is going to win this there. Graham. Waters. And here's Reinhardt. Flags up against Daniel Barac, who smashes one goalward anyway, and Georgie Girardello blows a whistle. Thought, I think, for a moment that she was going to book him for kicking the ball away, which would have been a little bit harsh. Don't know if Daniel's moving as well as he probably should. He looks like he's just limping a little bit there when he's jogging back to get onside. Even now, he's just walking with a bit of a limp. And not as freely as he might have been. Brown sends it forward. We're into stoppage time at the end of the first half. That's going to find Durack. We might get a couple of minutes. Yeah, I think so. Even just for that little skirmish just in the box a few minutes before half time, they might add on a minute or so. Durack sends it down the field. Verkic wins it. Falls for Sparrow. He can bring it forward for Belconnen. Chance out wide for Whittier to run
Numbers
at the defence. Ball towards the far post. Barac peeled away. Overhit cross though. And Jordan Lamb was back there to make sure there was nothing untoward for Canberra FC. Probably could have done better with his cross there, Woody, along the face of the goal. If he plays that along the ground instead of trying to find someone in the air, it would have been real dangerous. Waters sends it back from where it came, and Lamb is there. Gerbischer looks for a ball forward towards Mensah, but Clements was there. Waters, Makel's touch. Now Matt Waters. Lamb. Good pressing from Belconnen again to win the ball back. Here's Reinhardt. What can he do?
Well, he's found Dusty.
He has. Wells Clips it on towards Maykel. Brunskill needs to be alert. Maykel's got him behind here. Chance for Adrian Maykel. If he pulls this one back, it's Wells. This is 2-0.
What a save, Matt
Blocked
Gerbisher.
by Matt Gerbisher on the line with his chest. Phenomenal piece of defending. It's still alive though for Belconnen. Here's Maybury. Chance for Sparrow to drive one straight into Gerbisher again. Heroic defending from the central defender. And as the final half-time whistle goes, how on earth has he kept that out?
Unbelievable, Matty Gerbisher. You would have put your house on Dusty putting that in. Adrian Maykel's worked the house down to get the return pass from Wells. He stayed on his feet, probably even could have gone down because he had Brunskill sort of nipping at his heels there. Picks out Wells and he's hit it as clean as a whistle. And yeah,
your first instinct is that he must have pushed it away with his hands. Unbelievable.
Yes, it's a brilliant save.
Fantastic piece of defending from Matt Gerbisher. That's the end of the action in the first half. It's been entertaining. We're looking forward to the second 45. We're going to take a bit of a break and try and get out of this wind. Half-time here at Deacon's Stadium. 1 goal separates the team, scored after 9 minutes from Cam Reinhardt. It's a big one in the scheme of things. We're hoping for more in the second half. This could be a pivotal day in the race for the MPL title here in Canberra. At half-time, it's Canberra FC 0, Belconnen United 1. Nothing from Ange. Welcome back to Deakin Stadium. So welcome back to Deakin Stadium and second half coverage of the NPL here in Canberra. Canberra FC versus Belconnen United. Belconnen United leading 1-0 at half time. Attacking the goal to our right in the second half. Plenty of people watching Bar TV Sports around the country. Lucky for them because there was a nice squall of rain at half time. Shout out to Ryan Doyle and Al Hassan who are watching the game. Probably warmer than we are, Frank.
They'd want to be. Thank you for my Bar TV special issue gloves as well.
Just trying to warm up your hands, mate, as the start of the second half. Belconnen, as I said, leading by their goal from Cam Reinhardt. Their team, Finjurek in goal, Mabry, Bourgeot, Clements, Reinhardt, Mako Sparrow, Brad Waters, Whittier, Wells and Barach. Up front for Canberra SC's team, Brown in goal, Brunskill, Verkic, Gerbischer and Pavlak, James, Graham, Waters and Lamb, Mensah and Danning looking to find a way back. At the moment, Belconnen United back in the fourth on the ladder. Will they stay there?
Well, it could easily be 2-2 at the break at the moment. Both sides have really been threatening, since that first goal from Cam Reinhardt. It's a very open game and plenty of opportunities.
Here's Graham in the middle of the park for FC. Verkic finds Gerbischer. Looks to spark something in FC in this second half if they are to get back to the top of the table. You're listening to Bar TV Sports with Russ Gibbs, your lead commentator, with me, Frank Keisha, the head coach of Canberra Olympic, who has a vested interest in this one. He'll be hoping that Belconnen United can hold on or even add to their tally, because that will keep Olympic top of the pile.
Yeah, well, I can't be biased, but...
Well, you can.
Okay, go.
Here's James through the middle. Chance here for Thomas James. Opportunity right at the start of the second half. It must be 1-1. It is. Turned in on the far post by Ivan Pavlak. Unselfish from James. It's taken less than 90 seconds, and FC have reduced that deficit back. It's 1-1. Game on.
Absolutely, and that's been threatening for a little while. Thomas James has come through the middle, cut through the Belconnen defence. He's stood up Finn Jurek in the Belconnen goals, and Ivan Pavlak coming in at far post has just had a tap in. So 1-1, game on. Let's see how it goes.
Just the start to the second half that Paul Makel would have wanted for Canberra FC. Just the start of the second half that Yuli De Silva would have dreaded, I think, for Belconnen United. It's put the race back on for the title again, though. It's one step forward, one step back for everybody here. It's incredible stuff at the end of the NPL season. Still keeps you top, though, if it stays that way, Frank.
Still keeps us top, and I think Gabby Will could probably be happy with that goal there at Tigers FC as well. Certainly will, because it puts Belconnen back down to 5th and Tigers up to 4th. It's going to be like this for the rest of the season. We'll be needing a calculator to figure out what's going on. I was going to say an abacus, but we're past that now, aren't we? I reckon your social media viewers probably wouldn't know what that is, mate.
Probably not. Showing our age a bit.
Showing yours, I didn't say anything.
You'd have known what I meant, though.
Only because I read books, but...
Here's Graham, looking to flick you out wide towards James. It was a pivotal, can't even speak right now, too cold. Pivotal part of that goal. Here he goes again, Thomas James, looking to find Danning, who peeled away. People think it's all glamour in this commentary business. It's freezing cold, and we had a squall of rain at half time. We had a beautiful rainbow briefly.
We did.
Disappeared.
Absolutely, we did. Hopefully those clouds have blown over. Now the sun's out, so yeah, look, still cold, but good conditions to be playing in. I think the bit of rain over half time would have just freshened up the surface a bit, made it a bit slicker. It should be buzzing around now, both sides. Matt
Waters battling away, looking for Danning. Flag goes up though. Offside against Kofi Danning.
And Canberra FC have come out with some real resolve in this second half. Obviously stung into action over their 1-0 half-time deficit, and I think Paul's obviously given them a number of instructions at half-time, and they've obviously lifted.
Latest score from over at Googong, it's Monero Panthers 0, Woden Western 1. Olaid Yinka with the goal for Woden Western. He's had a good season in front of goal.
He's had a great season. Constant threat. I think every club in Canberra would mark him down as one of the players to watch. when they're playing Woden, and obviously one of those players that could really earmark himself as one of the future stars in this competition.
Here's James, who's certainly one of those, looking to send it through the middle, and here's Mensah. Chance for Canberra FC, stabbed it goalward. No real conviction in the finish. He didn't have the pace to get away, but of someone of his quality, we expected a little bit better.
Yeah, I think he just tried to dink Finn Jurek in goals there. Great ball from Thomas James. Really split the Belconnen defence. Belconnen again would probably just need to get their foot on the ball, get some composure, get some passes happening, and get themselves back in this game.
Well, they need to wake up, don't they? Because they haven't come out at all at the start of the second half. 5 minutes gone, live on Bar TV Sports. The equalising goal from Ivan Pavlak, and his second goal of the season and his first in the league as well. And both fullbacks scoring their first league goal of the season. Wouldn't have picked that.
No, but this is when you really need someone like Dustin Wells to really stand up now for Belconnen. He's their best player. The more they can find him, the better Belconnen will be.
Matt Waters finds James, looking to run at the defence again. Thomas James plays Waters in. Mensah tried to use his strength, but Clements was there. Here is Wells. Can he do something on the break? Looks for Barach, but he's played it behind him, and it should be easily seen out by Pavlak. If I'd said to you before kickoff it was going to be 1-1 at this stage, you wouldn't have picked Reinhardt and Pavlak as the scorers, I wouldn't have imagined.
No.
If you had, I would have been going to buy a lottery ticket.
And this wind's starting to play again now. Sam Brown, who's very good with his feet, barely making it up to halfway with his clearance there.
Here's Gerbischer, experienced leader of Canberra FC. Verkic looks to play it forward. Nicely done defensively again by Belconnen. Verkic has it once more though. Waters, nicely done. Let's let it run on. Here's a chance if he can slide the ball in, and Danning's got an opportunity here. He's got Lamb waiting in the penalty area. James has peeled away to the far post. Here's Kofi Danning. Looks to slide it in. Belconnen on red alert status. Graham's there. Danning once more. Brunskill. Can he deliver? Looking for James, but it's been headed clear and it's been picked up by Brad Waters, and here comes Whittier. Belconnen's turn on the counter. Barcher made the run forward, but Brunskill wins it, and Whittier takes it straight back again. Nice little bite about the game as well. Gerbischer to Danning. He's got some space. Mensah's in the middle. Lamb made the run outside, but Danning's come inside. Straight into a clutch of light blue shirts. Waters. James. Mabry sold himself, and that'll be a free kick. Maycor's brought down Thomas James.
There's what's his Sparrow again, actually, that time.
Was it Sparrow?
Yeah, and he's got to be a bit careful. He's on a yellow card. A lot of one-on-one individual battles happening now across the park. Interesting to see how they approach this now, playing into the wind, Canberra FC, with the free kicks from this sort of distance, whether or not they choose to shoot or just hang it up in the air, because that ball coming back towards their strikers could be almost as dangerous as taking the strike themselves.
Well, James is teeing it up. It looks like he fancies a shot. I mean, if you could get it flat delivery here, the wind could cause all sorts of havoc for Durack. Here is James. Created the equaliser. Thomas James dips one and swerves, and Durack had to dive to push it away. Good save from the goalkeeper, good free kick from James. Very
good save, because not only did he get there, he turned it around the corner and not put it back into his box, and then Michael Mensah's running into that, looking for any scraps that if Finn doesn't do what he's just done. So very good save and a very good free kick, obviously, from Thomas James.
Good pressure again from Canberra FC there. They've got themselves level. They're searching for a goal to go in front. Pavlak with the corner. Swings it in towards Mensah, who wins the header. Couldn't guide it goalwards though.
And Canberra FC have obviously lifted in this second half. They've been dominant the first 9 minutes of it, getting themselves back on the score sheet. They're 1-1 and looking to push hard.
They've certainly had the better of the second half so far. Two results from lower grades earlier today. The under-18s, Belconnen United 3, Canberra FC 2. I believe that sewn up top spot for Belconnen United in that grade. And in the under-20s, the exact same scoreline. Belconnen United 3, Canberra FC 2. Ball swung in towards Wells, who's peeled away here. Pavlak's back chasing and does well to hold off Dustin Wells. I'm sure Yuli De Silva would settle for another 3-2 win as well.
I'm sure he would. I'm sure he would. That was a very good ball. It's interesting Dusty didn't try to take that before it actually came down. He's got the quality to bring the ball like that down with his first touch, and he would have been in on goal.
It's got the quality to poke one like Robin van Persie from that range, mate.
Yeah, which is why we're so surprised that he didn't get himself on the score sheet in that first half, and when he had a couple of really good chances.
Or Tim Cahill, I could say. Here's Graham. Pavlak sends it forward looking for Danning.
That front three for Canberra FC are looking very, very ominous there for the Belconnen defence.
It's a hefty punt forward by Durack, and Verkic just takes the pace off it. Brown goes out to collect by the corner flag. We'll need to get some distance on this one and hurry back into his goal. Well won by Sparrow. Waters plays it wide to Reinhardt. Looking for the run of Barach in behind. Verkic is there. Brown got away with that one. Brad Waters looks to get a 1-2 going. Now here's Mabry. Good build up this from the Blue Devils. Zach Mabry onto the edge of the penalty area. Opportunity for Wells to wrap his foot around it, but couldn't get over the ball. Better from the Blue Devils.
And Belconnen just starting to get into this half now. Yeah, interesting. Sam Brown sort of fluffed his lines a little bit with that clearance, and it's gone over Dusty's foot. 9 times out of 10, Dusty's taken a touch and then hitting that straight back into goal. So interesting.
We'll see what happens as Brown centres one into the wind. Mensah won it. Pavlak, who's equalising goal, brought us all square. Nodded forward, but James should get there first. With Barach, tries to turn away from him and runs into Zach Mabry, who's up quickest. Barach to Wells. Good run forward from Makor. Managed to stay onside as well, which is important. Swings it into the penalty area. It's going to fall for Wells. Sends it towards Whittier. Looks to get the shot away. Sam Whittier, good save by Brown as well to palm it away, and the Blue Devils responding well.
Yeah, real hard running there from Adrian Makor. He's spent a few years at Olympic, and he's always been a great little player and just works tirelessly. I'm sure his uncle's there in the Canberra FC dugout won't be real impressed with him running the way he is, but yeah, that was a really good build-up from Belconnen. Great ball from Wells into Sam Whittaker there, and a very good save from a very good shot.
Wells with the corner. Whittier's on the penalty spot. Makor's in front of the goalkeeper. Swung in towards that area, and Makor was there, and Brown needed to get his fist on it.
Another corner.
Both teams have caused all sorts of problems with the corner swinging that ball in. Wells again will be lining this one up.
And not overly tall goalkeepers on both sides, Russ.
Both very agile, but as you say, not the tallest. Flatter corner from Wells this time. Nodded away by Ian Graham out up towards the hillside where the kangaroo came from the other week. Thankfully, no sign of him today. Wells will have third corner in quick succession. Just in front of the Canberra FC substitutes warming up. Better corner again towards the far post. Mensah was involved, and I think it may have came off Makor last. Or was it Clements, sorry?
Clements, yeah.
Got out towards the far post. Looking at the benches, Frank, Canberra FC, Jordan Thurtell, the goalkeeper, Christian Pradazina, Ross Costanzo, Brody Simpsons, and Christian Kreskas for FC. Very young-looking bench, because they're missing a few players today. Belconnen United, by contrast, Deacon Jewell, the goalkeeper, Marty Rains, Harry Williams, Goran Mukeski, and Matt Kochick. So a little bit more experience on the Belco bench to pick from.
Yeah, well, Marty Rains and Goran, they're both very good quality and seasoned first graders. So, Yuli's got a bit of artillery up his sleeve there if he wants to use them. Whereas, as opposed to the Canberra FC bench, who are quite young, and I wouldn't have thought too many of them had too much experience at this level.
Well, their forward options are Brody Simpsons and Christian Kreskas, both very young players. Played in the under-20s game before this. they're all warming up anyway, and it'd be interesting. You'd think you'd have to use them at some stage, because a lot of these boys, having played on Wednesday, might find it a bit leggy towards the end of the match.
Yeah, absolutely, Russ. It's a very good point, especially playing into the wind.
And especially playing a game which, in all honesty, they need to win, really, with the 3 points. I mean, the draw wouldn't be the end of the world for them, with the game in hand still.
Yeah, that's right. The draw opens it up for obviously ourselves, Canberra Olympic and Canberra C to, play out the final couple of games with it all to play for. The win obviously gives Canberra FC, the upper hand with the game in hand. But so no, it's not the end of the world. But I'm sure, without sounding like Captain Obvious here, Canberra FC will be going for those 3 points, and it looks like Goran McKeskey's going about to come on for Waters.
It is Belconnen United who twist first. Goran McKeskey, the midfielder, on for Brad Waters, who's worked hard. And you know what you're going to get with Goran McKeskey. Plenty of energy, plenty of running.
Yeah, he's a good quality player. I know that Daniel Greenwich at his time here at Belconnen rated him very, very highly, and has huge raps on young Goran. So yeah, that's a good inclusion. I suppose the interesting thing there for Yuli was to decide whether or not he takes off Brad Waters or Sparrow being on a yellow card. That could come into play later on in the afternoon, I guess.
He's made his decision. James wins the header. Maker will challenge with Lamb. Brunskill's there. Pressure on. This is McKeskey. Wins the ball. Bundle of energy, usually Goran McKeskey. Looks to find Wells. It's a decent one too. Heads it on towards Barach. The bounce is going to be important here. And Barach is there with Pavlak, and Pavlak does well to win the ball. And not only that, find James, who's immediately surrounded by both Bourgeot and Sparrow, forced way back towards his goal, where two other Blue Devil shirts take over, and Barach gives away a fairly needless free kick.
Yeah, he was going nowhere, but good defending there from Ivan Pavlak. It's not easy to outmuscle Daniel Barach, big strong player, big body, but yeah, did very well. But he's just pulled up a bit lame there, Pavlak. He just looks like he's holding his hamstring a bit.
Mensa challenges with Bourgeot, falls for Danning, turns away from Sparrow. Again, Mabry and Sparrow both in there, and Bourgeot completes the clearance. As you say, Pavlak not running too freely at the moment. He's feeling his hamstring. Marty Rains, I think, is getting ready over on the far side as well.
That'll test out Ivan's hamstrings if Marty Rains comes in.
Danning won the ball. Here's Pavlak getting it back again. Mabry steps away from first Pavlak, then Graham, and Waters is there, makes the challenge.
A little bit of afters there, and that tackle there from Waters on Mabry. Interesting call there from Matt Gilbreth for the potential handball there. Reckons he got both hands on it.
Good touch through here. Here's Makor, slips at the inopportune time. Here's Barach, clips it towards the far post. It's a good one too, and Whittier came in, couldn't direct his header goalwards.
Again, very good work there from Adrian Makor, Russ. He's really grown into that midfielder that we all expected him to be. So now that he's getting regular first grade minutes, I think he's one to definitely keep an eye on.
He's had an impressive season, young Adrian Makor. Here's Barach. Meant to challenge him. Two heavyweights of the game. Good ball infield to McKeskey. Sparrow spins away from Matt Waters. Makor, all a bit tight and congested, and it's Gerbish who can bring it away. Now, is there something on the break? James has got the hammer down, as has Danning, but the wind takes the ball away from both of them out onto that far side. I'm sure it's getting stronger, this wind, as well.
It's not lightened up, that's for sure.
If the camera stops working, it's because Danny's hands are frozen. It's freezing cold. Very blustery, even though the sun's out. Gerbischer. Hardy few in the Ivan Bullen stand on the far side, aren't they? Huddled in the back.
I'm sure they're warmer than us. I'm sure that.
I'll tell you who is warm is everybody in the VIP room over there with their Chavapi rolls.
It's funny, I don't get invited in there very often. Don't know what it is.
Maybe the fact that you keep taking all their trophies away, that they have been a permanent part of this building here for a number of years.
And it's is that Dustin Wells coming off?
I think it is Dustin Wells. Marty Raines comes on for him. So again, another front runner that likes to put the work in.
Big call though. Take Dustin off. Well, he's backed himself there, Yuli. Unless there's an injury or something to Dusty, that's a very big call.
A little nudge in the back there. Should be a free kick.
Yep, it is.
Chance for FC to load the penalty area with plenty of red shirts. Chance for them to build on this goal that they scored at the start of the second half from Ivan Pavlak, which brought the teams level, 1-1, live on Par TV Sports. We're midway through the half.
So it looks like Daniel Barrett has been deployed up top now for Belconnen, taking Dusty's spot. Marty Raines will be out on one wing.
Here's a free kick, hoisted into the air, and you can see how it holds up in the wind.
It's nearly gone backwards.
Kevsky heads it forward towards Barrett. Tries to help it on his way. Vukich needs to get a touch here and does. Goes back to Brown. This is asking a lot from the keeper. Nice first touch.
And great chase there from Goran Makevsky.
I was going to say Makevsky put him under so much pressure.
Just never gave up. Just put Sam Brown under pressure. A lot of players would have just sort of gone through the motions there, but Goran.
Here they go and exchanging passes. Raines into the area. Graham is with him. Raines trying to force it back. Gerbischer finds Brunskill. Holds up again in this wind. But Danning wins the throw. Looks to go early. Then changed his mind. It was only Mensah up front. Got a lot of qualities, Michael Mensah, but he's not the quickest.
I think they were saying on Wednesday he must be 37, 38, so he can be forgiven for that.
Certainly been around the traps, played some professional football abroad. Here they come. Here's Kofi Danning on the right-hand side. James is unmarked, but that ball is just back towards his own goal again. The wind took it away from its intended target. Vukich looks to slide it towards Danning. Looked for the clever touch, didn't quite work out for him, and Clements was in there to make sure it didn't. Here's Raines. Sparrow in midfield. Steps away from Ian Graham. Daniel Sparrow looking for a runner ahead of him. Makel was the only option though. The Blue Devils, after coughing it up, get it back again. Raines once more. Sparrow. Raines wants it back. He's going to get it back. Here's Marty Raines. Opportunity this for the Blue Devils. And Brown is forced into yet another save. Good build-up. Nice shot. Decent save.
Yeah, it was one of those situations where all it took was a couple of 1-2s and they were caught very, very square. You could just see it eventually unfolding in front of us. And a real big credit here to Daniel Sparrow. I mean, for a player who's played a long, not been in NPL for a long time, and then coming back this season, even with a yellow card under his belt, he's still done very well.
Raines swings the free corner in, and Brown needed to pluck that out from underneath the crossbar. It's a dangerous one. Fair to say he judged that much better than he did the goal in the first half. Here's James on the break for FC. Lamb. Been a bit quiet in the second half, Jordan Lamb. Here's Danning.
He's one of the players that probably came back from overseas. I think Jordan Lamb, he's maybe just finding his feet again since he's returned.
Danning runs into Reinhardt. And then there's a big shout for a bit of skill from Reinhardt, I think.
Yeah, I think there must have been a bit of a nutmeg over there.
I think so. It excited the Belconnen fans, didn't it? Gathered in the... see, it has been the away stand here now at Canberra FC for a number of years, hasn't it?
We've called it the Olympic stand for years.
The Olympic stand. It's funny how that happens, isn't it? The away fans always congregate in a particular area.
Yeah.
Here's Maybury. Looking to bring it forward. Whittier's turn. Makel's peeled off for him. Ball towards the far post. Marty Raines flags up.
Yeah. Again.
Good build up again there from the Blue Devils.
Matty Goodrich blowing up a storm there.
Are Canberra FC beginning to look a little tired?
Oh, it's either that or Belconnen have lifted a bit now. Obviously Canberra FC had the ascendancy in the first 15 minutes of this half, and it looked like looked like they were going to get the lead and probably even go away with it. But this is always going to be difficult for Canberra FC to back up the third time this week. 3 big games. So they're still in it,
and they'll keep on coming right up until grand final day for whichever teams get there. Big matches next week, and then the final round, and then of course FC versus Olympic in the rearranged fixture, the fixture-free weekend, leading straight into the semi-finals, prelim finals and finals. It's all to play for, and it'll all be on Bar TV Sports Live. Here's a chance for Mako into the penalty area. Tries to slide it across goal, but Brown picks it off and bowls it out immediately to James, looking to take on McKeskey. Thomas James now running towards Mabry. Both McKeskey and Mabry there. James past Mabry into the area. Great run this. And in the end the pass was intercepted. And it's Mabry who can bring it away.
He's done well, Zach Mabry there.
Just did enough to hold him up. Here's McKeskey going in the other direction now. Reinhardt. Reigns. Couldn't keep it in.
No, didn't do him any favours with that pass, Cam Reinhardt.
But he smashed it at him, didn't he?
Control that.
From about 8 yards away.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, Marty.
Meant to bring them down, aren't you?
Graham hooks it forward. Here's Gerbisher. Waters. Now Pavlak. Didn't get any elevation on that one. Sparrow sends it forward, but that's going to harmlessly go through to Sam Brown. He's happy to get the game quickly underway. Less than 20 minutes to go. 1-1 here at Deakin Stadium. Is there a winner for either side? Plenty of time.
Adrian Makel's in a great spot.
And he's been picked out by Whittier, but it's overhit it slightly. Just didn't
allow for the wind.
Didn't allow for the force 10 gale at his back there. The old golfing analogy, needed the pitching wedge and got out the 9-iron and just clumped it down the park. Brown will take the goal kick. Bit of movement on the bench for Canberra FC as well. Going to see a change shortly. Verkic won't keep this in play. It'll be a throw-in. Here is the change. It's Jordan Lamb, who's worked incredibly hard all afternoon. And it's Christian Pradesina that's going to come on. Interesting change.
Yeah, see if there's a reshuffle now, whether or not Brunskill moves maybe a more advanced position, because I think Pradesina is more a defender, from what I understand. I can't
it's on the right hand side at the moment. Midfield needs must, I guess, when they're missing a few players. And big shout there for an elbow, and I think it was nothing really untoward in it from what we could see. Matt Waters went down.
Looks like he's holding his arm there, so
right in front of the Canberra FC bench. Yeah. So the referee not going to get much change there, is she? Done a good job today, George Girardello. 17 minutes to play, live on Bar TV Sports.
Russ, I hate to tell you this, but I reckon there's penguins lining up behind me. It's freezing.
It is a bit cold. There's the stand that we're in. There's a hardy few youngsters to our left, I think, isn't there?
Yeah, they're
huddled out. They're absolutely mad. I don't know what they're doing. Loving their football here at Deakin. Mensah wins the header. Here's a chance for Pradesina.
Yeah, young Pradesina played against Olympic when we beat Canberra FC here 1-0 earlier this season. I just remember him running down Rocco Stricker towards the back end of the game. So obviously he's got a bit of toe. And they must have a big opinion of him to be throwing him in at this stage of the game. Young, obviously a local junior, as Canberra FC constantly produce. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he goes.
Here's Waters in the middle of the park for Gerbisher, out towards that right hand side where Pradesina is located at the moment. Reigns.
It's a great turn.
Sparrow, bit of space.
Ooh.
And that's through the back of Mako, but the advantage is there as Marty Reigns can go towards the penalty area, and Verkic stretches a leg out. Sparrow's there once more. Probably his worst touch of the afternoon. There hasn't been many of them from Daniel Sparrow.
He's been very, very good. He's been really good. Him and Adrian Mako have been outstanding for Belconnen. Matty Goodrus have been in, excellent again for Canberra FC, really holding that back four together. A real leader.
15 minutes to go here at Deakin Stadium, 1-1. A goal either way now would be critical for many, many reasons. And Brown needs to get rid of that one. Out for a throw-in. You've got a vested interest, of course, in this. Frank Keisha, head coach of Canberra Olympic, who will be hoping if a goal does come, it's for the light blue shirts.
Yeah, always got to cheer for the blue, Russ.
Here's McKeskey. Out to Reinhardt. Lovely touch from Mako. Reinhardt into the penalty area. Chance here, pulls it back. Is this the moment? It's not. Scuffed it wide. Real opportunity that there. That would have been some story. Adrian Mako scoring.
Adrian Mako scoring, full stop. we look at Olympic. He was at Olympic for a couple of years there, and we'd even note down his goals at training. It was pretty rare, but he's again getting into some great positions and a great run from Reinhardt.
He scored 2 goals this season, both in the FFA Cup run, in a 5-0 win against UC Pumas and in the 8-5 win over the O'Connor Knights. So he can score goals, just not in the league.
Well, let's be honest, they're both Capital League sides, so let's, we
goal's a goal, Frank.
No, goal's a goal. We'll give him that. But we got a high opinion of Adrian. We, as not just a player but as a person, he's a great young man, and real credit to his father there, Rick, and his mum, and that whole Mako family that have been institutions here in local Canberra football for a number of years, and obviously with Paul and Danny on the bench there for Canberra FC in the coaching reins. So a big contribution for the Mako family to local football.
Free kick that should be, as Barach goes down.
Absolutely.
No. Throw in instead. Looked like a foul. Another substitution coming up, I believe, for the Blue Devils.
Sparrow off.
And it's Harry Williams coming on, who's normally a defender.
Yeah, so Harry was at Olympic for a number of years, a really good, composed young man, young player that look like they're going to be playing in a defensive midfielder role. Played a lot of years at centre back. But yeah, I'd be interested to see how Belconnen adjust now with Sparrow no longer in the midfield, because he was outstanding.
Here's James. Gets away from Reinhardt. Can he spark something for Canberra FC? Mako. Good ball from McKeskey. Finds Whittier. Back to McKeskey again. Tries to shot and it's low, and Brown diving to his right makes an outstanding save. It didn't look like there was much pace on the shot from McKeskey, I think it was, and Brown keeps his team in it with a fantastic stop.
Yeah, absolutely. That was going bottom corner, really well placed shot. As you said, Russ, wasn't much pace on it, but the placement was what was key there, and outstanding save from Sam Brown.
Rains with the corner to the near post, bounces in, and I think it's come off the shin. Was that Barach with his head in his hands? I know it's Clements. In fact, he's come up from the back. Didn't go out of play either. You talk about pivotal moments in the season in goals. You talk about goals normally, but saves as well. Sam Brown with an absolutely fantastic save to keep his side at level at 1-1. Here's Pradazino at the other end, looking to take on Rains. Well, flag goes up, free kick Canberra FC. But like I say, Frank, we talk about pivotal moments, and that is a great stop. You've seen it late as well.
Yeah, outstanding save, and probably Marty Rains there. You know, he's got Pradazina going nowhere, and quick free kick.
James goes early
and a corner.
Defensively, that was Williams, I think, with his first real contribution. Good one too to get rid of the ball. Canberra FC. 11.5 minutes to go here at Deakin Stadium as we try to keep warm on the gantry that they've built. Thomas James with the corner.
Goodrich lurking far post.
Plenty of red shirts to aim for. Swings it in there. Mensah wins the header.
Clear opportunity there. Like free header. Could have gone anywhere.
He'll be very disappointed it wasn't on target. Now he's been caught dawdling and thinking about it. Here's Mabry. Looks for the run of Barach. Too heavy. Pradazina switched to this near side now, Frank.
Yep, and get a better look at him now.
is going to be involved here as Waters sends it towards Mensah. Gets it back again, but in stretching for it, it's only presented it to McKeskey. And they've worked it to the far side and Rains. Reinhardt. Casually done. Getting away from Danning.
Cam Reinhardt's putting on a show today.
Clipped forward.
Goal, nutmeg, spin turns.
Rolling back the years, Cam Reinhardt. Another footballer who's been a good servant to Belconnen United, been around for many, many years.
And it's good to see that there are a lot of players here that have been at both clubs, and it's a bit like Angelo with us at Olympic, that are sort of one team players that as opposed to those players that sort of jump left, right, and centre.
Very loyal club men.
Yeah, and it's really good for the game. Like, they'll tell you what the values are of a club, and they'll demonstrate that week in, week out.
Well, they help shape the values, don't they? They've been there that long.
Exactly right.
Here's Waters. Pradazina's in front of him. He looked to go to Mensah instead. Gerbischer was screaming instructions to Pradazina. The youngster. Here's Williams. Now Reinhardt. Drifting infield now. Rains. Looks to slide it forward, but it's been picked off by Gerbischer. And he looks to find James, and it's going to roll out of play there. Thomas James not going to keep that in.
Not happy there, Matty. But he's
disappointed with himself.
Just a real leader, isn't he? He's obviously barking instructions to all his players, and he wants them to lift. He's a winner. He's wherever he goes, he leads by example.
Well, he'll recognise the importance of this final 10 minutes. 1-1 as we stand. As we do stand, Canberra Olympic will stay top of the NPL. Canberra FC will edge a point behind them with the game in hand. All shaping up rather nicely for the last few weeks of the season if you're of a neutral persuasion, and if you're involved in this top battle for the championship and the battle for the top four. I'm sure it's all a bit nervy. Squeaky bum time, I think Alex Ferguson called it, didn't he?
Mate, Alex Ferguson's your friend, isn't he? He's not. I'll take your word for it.
Here's Rains, looking to lift it forward, looking for Barach, who's worked exceptionally hard, as he always does. Runs the line very well.
Well, like we said at the beginning of the game, he's just a very genuine performer who puts everything into his game, and he'll leave nothing out there on the park. He'll come in absolutely spent.
Rains beats Waters to it. Challenge for the ball. Pavlak needs to win this. Header went in the wrong direction as far as he was concerned, but Gerbischer was there. James can't bring it under control. It's all a bit scrappy at the moment. Nicely done by Williams, though, to find McKeskey. Can he find a blue shirt? He can't. Only found Gerbischer. Now Waters. Graham.
Good tackle.
Beaten to it by Williams. Makor, runner outside him. Makor goes for goal himself. And it was dipping. He had Rains outside.
Yeah, a bit ambitious there from Adrian. He probably saw Sam Brown just off his line a little bit. Big tackle there, one in the middle of the park there from Harry Williams against Ian Graham.
Pradazina looks for the 1-2 with James. Christian Pradazina. Chance here for Canberra FC. Substitute into the penalty area. Pulls it back. Is this a chance for Mensah to win it? Fires it into the net with 7 minutes to go. Michael Mensah presented with the opportunity by a stirring run from the substitute Pradazina. Canberra FC lead.
And that big rap there for the young guy Pradazina, who's got outside his man, delivered a very good ball into the middle of the park to Michael Mensah, who's taken a touch and drilled it.
Clear-cut chances have been few and far between in the second half. 7 minutes now between Canberra SC and 3 vital points. Have Belconnen United got something in them to lift themselves back? 1-0 down, 2-1 up, going back top of the table as we stand.
Yeah, a lot of credit there for Canberra SC. They've obviously, it's the third game they've played this week. To lift themselves out of that. 6 minutes to go, 6.5 minutes to go to get themselves back in front after being 1-0 down, and they've kept on going. So big credit to them.
The calm head from an experienced striker when you need one to take a touch, pick his spot, and ram it home. Past Finn Jurak, who had no real chance of stopping that. Pradazina sends it forward again, and off goes Mensah, springing his step now, as you would expect from the big striker. Danning's the only one in support and tries to run Clements. Gives him a couple of nudges, still going, and finishes superbly, but the whistle had already gone. And there's the other side of Michael Mensah that we see. Very, very good footballer, but very easy to wind up, isn't he?
Yeah, bit of afters again there with him and Clement.
It's been a good battle, that one. We've enjoyed watching it. Here's Whittier. Bourgeot. Whittier again.
And this is also important for Tigers, with Belconnen now down 2-1.
Absolutely. Pavlak goes back to Graham. Gerbischer needs to be careful. Barrach was there. This would leave Tigers 2 points ahead of Belconnen with a game in hand. Against Gungahlin United, the game in hand, which they'll fancy.
Yeah, they've been an interesting side this year, Gungahlin. I would have pegged them as a top 3 side, to be perfectly honest. You know, they've got a lot of the Canberra United NYL side there, and Marcel coaching. So
is Whittier pulling it back for Reinhardt? 1-2 with Michael. Reinhardt scores! 2-2. It's 2-2. Cam Reinhardt pulls Belconnen level. We are not done yet here at Deakin Stadium. An immediate response from the Blue Devils. They're back on terms. And another big goal in the MPL Canberra.
Massive goal in the shape of the season. Oh, wow. 2-2 with 4 minutes to go, and you wouldn't put it past one of these teams getting a winner either. What do we say, Russ? The previous 2 games are both 3-2 to Belconnen. Who knows?
Waited all season for a Cam Reinhardt goal, and then 2 come along in the space of 90 minutes. Stepped up again to equalise, and a visual slump of the shoulders from the FC players who thought they'd done enough to go back top of the table. As it is, the season takes another twist and turn. Here's Barrach in the penalty area, and across back was Gerbischer, and it's now Blue Devils looking for a match winner.
And like we said, you know, if you're a local supporter of football, get out to an NPL game, get an interest, because the competition's very good. It's very tight. The games are exciting. There's a level of quality there, and it's obviously, you know, both teams are obviously big ambitions for the season, and this is what it's come down to.
His Reigns swinging it in, eludes everybody in the penalty area, and it's out for a goal kick. Just needed a touch. Well, you thought when FC had got that goal to go 2-1 up, you couldn't see. With the experience that they've got, you're thinking, well, they'll see this one out for 5 minutes, but they couldn't see it out for 90 seconds.
Yeah, look, Belconnen would be worth at least a draw, I thought. So look, I mean, we've got 3 or so minutes left. You wouldn't put it past either one of these teams picking up a winner here. It's just one of those games. It's good.
Just quietly though, how good was the finish from Reinhardt when he got in, just to lift it across Brown into the far corner?
Yeah, and again, there was really good work from I think it was Sam Whitaker there, and Adrian Maycall just laying the ball off to Reinhardt. It was a massive moment.
James swings a free kick in. Mensah wins it. Verkic was lurking with a volley, but Rain's got an important touch. Brunskill helps it wide to James. Whittier's across with him, and James can't keep it in, and it'll be a throw to Belconnen. 2.5 minutes to go. 2-2. And here comes Maycall, and he's stolen in behind here. Canberra FC gone to sleep briefly. Maycall's ball in. Pavlak won the header as Rains was peeling into the far post. Graham sends it forward. Here's Reinhardt. He's on a hat-trick.
Yeah, they got... I tell you what, Belconnen might want to turn around. They've got 3-on-2 Deakin up front.
Pradazine is there, and if he could get this ball forward, Waters can, and here's Venser, and he's not. I think he started the run from in his own half. Very tight one. Here's Maybury. Excitement building. Both sides actually going for a win here. Barrach. Maybury looks to play it forward. Pavlak won the header. Waters helps it clear. Bourgeot has a bit of space and time. Finds Mukevski. Williams wants it. Williams gets it. Pitting wide. Here's a chance for Whittier. And his left foot just got a bit excited and sends that one well out of the ground.
Looking for that kangaroo, I think.
Great to see, though. Both sides still up in the ante, looking for a winner. They recognise the importance of this.
Surely they can just play out of draws, Russ.
You got everything crossed there, Frank, for the last 60 seconds plus stoppage time. 2-2 live on Bar TV Sports.
This is, you know, even as a Canberra Olympic coach, you know, I've got huge amount of respect for both these clubs, and why wouldn't you? And you're glad to see them both trying to win this game. It's excellent.
Gerbischer sends it forward. One in the air by Clements. Likewise by Brunskill. Danning. Williams is battling with Kofi. Danning on the halfway line. Both players not giving an inch.
And well refereed as well.
No flag against Makor, though there is. There is.
I don't know if it was Adrian that was offside or Daniel.
I think Barrach was miles offside, but I'm not sure about Makor. I couldn't really see. The young assistant this side certainly could. FC get on with it. It's going to come straight back towards them, though. Gerbischer wins it, heads it into the air to himself. Barrach challenges. Prodded forward by Williams. Verkic slices that one off the side of the boot. Graham. Reinhardt, the unlikely 2-goal hero for the Blue Devils.
All become a bit untidy, so it must be in and out of time now.
We are into stoppage time. Anything now could be critical for both sides. Lovely turn from Danning. There's plenty of red shirts in the penalty area. They're flooding the box. Can Danning pick someone out? It's deflected. It's a corner. I'm sure everybody will go forward. Brunskill stays back with Barrach. Brown obviously in goal. He's not going to go forward for this one. Pradazina's dropping in to help defensively.
And left footer Ivan Pavlak will be taking this, trying to in-swing.
So then
Thomas James working on the edge of the box.
Pavlak swings it towards the edge of the penalty area. It's won by Verkic. Headed back towards goal, prodded goalwards. Headed by Gerbischer. It's looping and it's on top of the net. For a moment, it looked like it was going to drop in. Hearts in mouths for Belconnen United.
Hearts in mouths for commentators.
Durack with the goal kick. He wants to get on with it as well. Belconnen want a winner. Barrach wins the header. Can Whittier keep it in play? He can.
But what a great advertisement for our local game, Ross.
Certainly is, and they're still going. Here's Barrach. Flags up. Called offside. Now then, our FC in a rush to get this one forward. Sam Brown certainly is. Thumps it up towards Michael Mensah, who wins the header but sends it the wrong way. Flags up against Barrach again.
He never got onside.
The lazy running from Barrach. He's been tireless though for most of the game, hasn't he? You can forgive him the odd lapse at this stage. Here's Brown with the free kick. This must be towards the last moments of the match. Sam Brown will launch this one in towards the tall timber. Danning's up there. He nods it back to James. Goes down, no foul. Reinhardt. Ball to Makor. It opens up for Adrian Makor. If he can get a toe in, he might be in here. Verkic brings him down. This will be a free kick and a card. Should only be a yellow. But a chance for a free kick for Belconnen.
Well, if Belconnen's smart, they can make this almost the last play of the game. They just slow it down, get numbers forward.
Who's going to be entrusted with the dead ball? It looks like it might be Cam Reinhardt.
Oh, go for your hat-trick, Cam.
Will he have a pop from there? I doubt it.
Doubt it. No.
Plenty of blue shirts in the penalty area to aim for.
But Belconnen want to be a bit careful. They've still got 2-on-2 back. Adrian's just coming back now, Adrian Makor.
Is this the moment for the Blue Devils? Cam Reinhardt lining up the free kick. 5 blue shirts in the penalty area to aim for. Swings one in. It's touched goalwards, but Mensah gets the touch and away comes Canberra FC. Opportunity for Pradazina. He steps away from Bourgeot, who fouled him. And the advantage was given, and they've coughed the ball up. And it's going to come straight back via Reigns. And the whistle goes to end 90 absorbing minutes of football here at Deakin Stadium. A 2-2 draw at the end of the day. The big winners, Canberra Olympic, who stay top, and Tigers SC, who stay 4th. But a great advertisement for football here in Canberra, Frank, and a game in which it swung and twisted and turned, and we thought FC had won it with that goal with 7 minutes to spare. I couldn't see a way with Belconnen finding their way back in, but straight away Cam Reinhardt made it 2-2, and we've really enjoyed this.
Oh, maybe you have. I'm struggling to catch my breath here. What a game. Testament to both sides and both sets of coaches. You've produced a quality match here for everyone that's tuned into Bar TV or come out to the game, and it's kept the whole season alive for a number of different teams for a number of different reasons. So hats off to both Belconnen and Canberra FC for their performances.
So looking at the league table, Canberra Olympic played 14, 30 points. Canberra FC played 13, 29 points. Tuggeranong played 14, 23 points. Tigers played 13, 22 points. Belconnen played 14, 21 points. So plenty to play for next week, starting on Friday. Canberra Olympic versus Tigers FC. Nice easy one to ease us into the weekend. And then followed up by Canberra FC playing Woden Western and Belconnen playing Riverina on Saturday. And just to tidy it all up, Tuggeranong United, who need the points, playing Monero on Sunday. So if you're a fan of football in Canberra, get out to one of those games, Frank, because it could be absolutely brilliant. Absolutely.
And look, I'd encourage people to come out and watch our local football as much as you can. I mean, if you can't, tune into Bar TV and listen to Russ, because he's doing a great job for Canberra football as well. So look, that's what it is. It's a very tight season and fantastic to see.
Thanks for your company again, Frank. As always, a great game here at Deakin Stadium. It was an early goal from Cam Reinhardt that gave Belconnen United the lead. It was counted out right at the start of the second half by Ivan Pavlak's equaliser. We thought that FC had won it with Mensah's goal with 7 minutes remaining, but we thought without Cam Reinhardt, who stepped forward to score his second in the game with 5 minutes to go and finish a very highly entertaining game. It means Canberra Olympic lead the pack as we head into the final 2 rounds of the season. It finished at Deakin Stadium, Canberra FC 2, Belconnen United 2.